Here we go. Who the hell are you, man? Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
We are the Knights!
Hold on to your butt.
And now for something completely different.
Hello out there, and welcome to the Knights of Nerdatude podcast. We're a podcast for all things nerd. My name is Chris. I'm here with...
Yeah, I don't watch Stranger Things, so I don't have anything this week. It's Sam.
Starting my own sensory deprivation tank in a fridge, it's John.
Hello, it's Sean.
So this week is going to be the Stranger Things finale. Season finale, final 2 episodes of the 4th season.
Yeah.
That came out this summer. We're also going to talk about Minions: The Rise of Gru.
Mini Boss.
50% of us saw this movie, and we'll review that. But first, let's start off like we always do. Let's start with some news.
Ooh, news. So start right away with a trailer, actually. Well, a teaser trailer. Start with a teaser trailer.
It's a trailer.
Still a trailer.
I know.
Still a trailer.
Well,
We don't separate here.
It's a theatrical trailer and a teaser trailer. Both have the word trailer.
We don't segregate here, Sean.
All right.
All are equal.
all right, good.
Let's put it this way. It is a movie that everybody knows the plot to already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Basically.
so we're talking about Hocus Pocus 2, which, I mean, it was filmed right down the road from where we're recording this, which is pretty cool.
True. Yeah. They
Claim to fame.
Yeah.
Claim to fame.
I drove by it a lot last year.
Yeah, it's the one movie New Englanders really hold their hat on.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's because there's no other movies in New England.
None. Name one.
I have one.
Let's the cult following behind this movie.
Yeah.
That every New Englander loves.
Oh, yeah. This is
I'm
like
gonna
a
go
huge-
on record. I'm one of those people who thinks this. I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's kind of overrated.
I think it's bad.
You think it's
And
bad?
overrated.
All right.
It's all blasphemy.
We got another...
You boys of the
we
devil.
We got 4 months. We're just going to get through it. Then I'll be done.
4 months. What? Just
October 31st. The other side of Hocus Pocus too. That's okay. I'm not trying to rain on the parade. I'm just trying to get through it.
okay. All right.
All right.
I'm in the sensory deprivation tank on Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, so we finally got a teaser trailer for it. Sanders sisters are back, and
They're singing again.
yeah. So
Can't not do it and not have them sing.
right.
Look,
I'm excited for it.
I'm excited too.
Like, when
You haters hate, but
yeah, hey,
I don't hate.
yes,
I'm just
you do,
like,
Sam. Shut up.
I'm just like, this isn't that great of a movie, guys.
It okay.
it isn't. But it's like
No, yeah,
it's
so-
like I don't gotta get slack for this, but like it's Starship Troopers, where it's so bad it's great.
yeah, but it's a holiday movie.
I wouldn't even put it that way. I don't think the movie's bad. I just think it's okay.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of fine line I have to walk as the Hubie Halloween appreciator who has no time for Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna.
Did you like Hubie Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Yeah. So I would consider Hocus Pocus along those lines, where it's just like, it's kind of like, it's not dumb, it's not stupid, but it's not like it's a nice change of pace when it comes to Halloween movies, where
It's horror.
it's not a straight horror, but I mean, yeah, there's a zombie.
you know-
Yeah.
you
I
know
mean,
what
it's a kids movie.
You know what
Right,
the thing was? There
right.
was this time period in I forget what decade it would have been, but there was
The
like a
90s.
gap where there's no real witch stories, movies. So well, think about it. What's
We don't get a
name
lot
witch
of witch
name witch
stories.
movies? You got Blair Witch Project,
The Witch.
The Witch, which was miserable.
Oh, that should have been the clue. But I don't know. What was the movie? What was the movie in the 60s? I mean, you just had Bewitched, the show.
Okay,
When
okay.
we had Bewitched, the
But it's
movie
there's
with Will
there's
Ferrell.
the Crucible.
Does
out
Doctor
there.
Strange count?
I mean, The Crucible is decidedly not a witch movie or
yeah.
play.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point, but
but it is.
No, but I mean, there's this kind of lack of that each horror has their kind of genre, like slashy, and then you have the kind of sci-fi horror, alien type thing, and then
Okay.
Serial killers, stuff. There's psychopath, and
Body horror.
zombies. You get kind of all those.
What does this have to do with Hocus Pocus, though?
The lack of witch movies.
Okay.
So that's what people like it so much, and I think
Just,
it kind
just
of
had Doctor Strange
it's
too.
part
man.
of the that's right. Look, it fits this niche kind of group, and
it's a
people love it,
Halloween-
and people like
It's
it.
a Halloween movie.
You just
that-
watched the tragedy of Macbeth. That's got witches.
Yeah.
Oh my
true.
god.
That's honestly like a top 3 witch movie.
But the thing with Hocus Pocus, though, so we got to move on soon. But the thing with Hocus Pocus is it's a Halloween movie you can watch.
We haven't even talked about the
family.
trailer.
Oh, it's definitely a family. No, we don't need to. Sanderson sisters are back and they're singing. That's all you
On-
need
Yeah,
to
yeah.
know.
My reaction to this, this looks like a cheaply made sequel.
It is a straight to Disney Plus.
That's the question mark.
yeah.
I was like, is this a good idea? I mean, I get why they want to put it on there and get people to
Yeah.
sign up for it, but
Right.
but you're missing something. You're missing kind of that market.
The
for it.
first movie did not do well in the theaters.
Well, here's the thing too. There's just not the same push with family movies to get them in a theatrical release. Like I'm still shocked Lightyear was theatrical release.
I think they had to with Lightyear because of Turning Red.
Yeah, they got so much backlash that they were never going to.
Yeah, but they didn't. But they didn't put light years in the theaters after Turning Red because it was only a couple months later, right?
Right.
They would have had theatrical setups and releases already squared away.
So it's not like they dropped Turning Red overnight. They made the decision of Turning Red being released only on Disney Plus, and that was the second straight Pixar movie released on Disney Plus, and Pixar was pissed when they made that decision.
yeah, but that's not like they would have already decided to put light years in theaters prior to.
Yeah, but they can yank it around. They,
Right.
there's some
Yeah, but
flexibility.
I think we're talking
I can't
December. Like December, maybe even November of last year when they made this.
Yeah, but I
decision
can't
for
imagine
Turning Red.
there would have been lawsuits probably.
I
if
think
they-
the thing, honestly, just getting back to Hocus Pocus, I think the thing is like, if it goes to theaters, it could flop.
Yeah.
It's not going to flop on streaming because it's impossible to because
Right.
Nobody will- no.
they will never acknowledge it. They'll only acknowledge a hit. You know?
Right. But like I said, the original Hocus Pocus flopped,
Yeah.
but
And-
it gathered a huge following.
And I would
afterwards.
say generally cult classics in like the context of like mainstream entertainment, like even the long-awaited sequel with a lot of like organic fan, those never hit.
no, like Boondock Saints
I
too.
would agree.
Well,
Yeah.
Boondock
Well-
Saints 2, I'm sure like the grossed a lot more considering the other one came out like a week before Columbine or a week after Columbine, and got scrapped. Anyway, but but stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not
No,
necessarily Boondock.
And it's
When are we going to do the con on classic for Boondocks, Chris?
Oh God.
I don't know because I'm
St. Patrick's Day next year, maybe?
Huge fan of that.
Speaking
so.
of cult classics that only really resonate in New England,
Have you guys seen the first one? Because it is like
nailed it.
good Defoe.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that.
in every way, it's good to.
I mean, I don't know if there's anything else that's really good about the movie other than that, but
Billy Connolly's okay.
oh yeah, I forgot the
look,
Duke,
everything
or
about that
Duke,
movie is
whatever he is.
fantastic in just every
Okay.
possible way.
Sure.
Whatever
The
you
old
say,
guy
like,
from the Muppets Christmas special, the guy from Fraggle Rock, he's the bartender who swears.
oh
Is
yeah,
he?
the guy with
Okay.
Tourette's.
Yeah.
Never knew that. Well, Billy Connolly, also in Muppet Treasure
There you
Island.
go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy, also
Nope.
Good pull.
No.
He's also in
Good
jail.
pull.
No,
All right.
Anyway.
We'll get to that.
Moving
So
on.
Hocus Pocus
just like Gonzo.
streaming September 30th. So they have the full month of Halloween,
Yep.
October, to really kind of chew that viewership
cannot
up.
wait. Honestly, I'm very excited to see because I know they filmed a lot in the area, different places. So I'm very excited to see.
You know what I'm thinking? Maybe we do. Maybe we do like a movie night outside.
Okay.
Put it because it'll be like cool enough. We
Yeah.
can get all the families together because our families obviously are
Problem
obsessed
is
with this
weekends
movie.
in October.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Sam and I are very busy.
yeah, if we can do it outside, then we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yep. Well, anyway,
Unless no, technically you could do it on Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day.
Can we move on to season
Yes,
2
yeah.
news, or
June news.
Yeah.
Do news.
So Sean, like the spice, like the spice ingesting prophet you are,
yes.
have long predicted that this movie would not make its original release date, and you, sir, are correct.
Yoo-hoo!
It's been moved back a month.
There you go.
Just a month.
So, yeah, and
Give it
production is starting this summer.
Give it time.
So that's all I got. I just wanted to pump his tires a little bit.
Is this? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, are we gonna be Dune people? Like talk about Dune every single time news comes out.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Speaking
I'm,
of,
I'm very slowly reading the book, so
You mean like maybe like my favorite blockbuster? No, I'll take that over Top Gun, but it's close.
Dune over Top Gun. You know, I was thinking about this in the car too on the way over. I'm like, is Dune better than? Is like Dune was in Oscar kind of. It was
As a
nominated for
single
Best
movie?
Picture, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that was kind of their Best Picture. Are we thinking like Top Gun is Best Picture? Then I'm like, oh wait,
No.
Dune had a good story and it was cool. Top Gun, basic story, cool.
I don't think it's impossible. I mean, there has to be 10.
technical awards, I feel like Top Gun would be able to.
there
I
has to
mean,
be
what are
10.
you saying? Like,
So I think-
is
I think-
in the mix or is nominated for Best Picture or
right,
wins? Because there's no chance it will win.
Because I was going through like it's the first half of the year is over. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, so what movies kind of generally the best movies of the year, potentially top 10 for nominations for Oscars? And I'm,
Right.
all right, well, is Top Gun up there? And I kept thinking like, oh well, Top Gun is cool, really cool to watch, like really fun, cool, interesting to watch, but super basic story, nothing really going deep. Like characters are just kind of there. And then I'm like, all right, well, let's think about this. So compare it to Dune.
Yeah.
Dune, fantastic story,
Yep.
excellent technicals, and it was wicked cool and fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, well, Dune didn't really get a lot of play. So what are we thinking for Top Gun? Is it going to be top 10? I personally think it's going to be nominated. I think it's going to get no buzz whatsoever.
Halfway through the year so far, I think it will get some
you got to
buzz.
think
It's tough to say. Yeah.
this first half of the year is always the weak part
Yeah.
in terms of Oscar movies.
But I do think it's like top 1, 2. Like, you know,
Say,
like it's...
I would say in terms of Oscar buzz,
I'm talking
it's
Oscar. I'm talking
maybe
Oscar. It's not.
2 because everything everywhere is. Up
It is
there.
the highest grossing movie now.
What is Top Gun?
Yeah, it's gone past Doctor Strange.
Of the year.
So, yeah.
Give it time.
Yeah. It's just
It might be broken
it's
this
just
weekend.
Top
Who knows?
Gun.
Nah, I don't think
Like,
so.
I'm just kind of going over it, and I haven't seen everything everywhere, and
Right.
Unbearable Weight, but that's not gonna get anything.
No,
but
No, Unbearable Weight probably won't get it. It should get a little, but I don't think it'll get
yeah.
any.
See, I'm just thinking kind
everything
of
is-
what's in play here, and
I
why
mean,
won't this be part of
Yeah,
it?
so I've got the first. We did actually have another trailer that isn't really too germane to this podcast, but now that we're in a slightly Oscar talk, there is a David O. Russell movie with like 1 billion people in it, like Christian Bale, Margot Robbie,
was it Amsterdam?
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Which could be shitty, could be good. I don't know. Intriguing. It's like it's like David O. Russell who made like American Hustle and Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah.
It looks like he's made Nightmare Alley more or less.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, it's just like aesthetically, not necessarily the tone or whatever.
okay.
But
Like, are we talking like
say-
carnival
Well,
aesthetically,
it's
or
right up
like
Sam's
1940s?
alley.
It's
like
a-
19,
it's a
like
crime
1930s
drama.
and
It's a
20s.
historical crime drama.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
so
I think
like
they're
a neo noir sort of.
and I
deal?
think they're like actors who run some kind of con sort of thing.
This is gonna be
So,
100% up Sam's alley.
Yeah, we'll
This
see.
is right up your alley.
I always enjoy a good neo noir.
We'll see. Yeah, throw that trailer up there, and yeah, we don't have to get too
Even
deep into it.
Remembrance, I kind of liked it, even though it sucked.
You know what didn't suck? I don't know. I didn't see the movie. Sean and Chris did. Minions, which is the final movie that was originally slated for a 2020 release.
Yeah.
To be released into theaters 2 years after the fact.
Yep.
So-
and Universal held to
Yeah.
that theaters, just like Tom Cruise did with Top Gun.
Yeah.
Before we get into Minions, really quick in news about Minions, the Gentle Minions. Just want to touch on this really briefly because Chris had no idea. So apparently a bunch of teenagers around the U.S., it's like a big TikTok craze, would dress up to the nines, suit and tie, go see the Minions.
Yes.
Really?
And they started getting banned from...
Yeah.
Why were they getting
Because
banned?
they
from
think
a
they're
movie?
like, I don't know, like alt-right mass murderers or something like that, just because that's what people. That's like the shorthand now of like, teens are doing something. This must be bad.
It must be either drugs or racism.
I know that
It's like the entertainment industry, God love them, like can't like read the room. Like this is like very much analogous to like the Morbius thing.
Yeah.
Which is, but like seemingly people are doing, I don't know.
Well, I know there were like videos uploaded to TikTok of these kids.
It's like 20 kids in suits, like
but
just
like
going down an
there
escalator.
are some of them in the theaters just like throwing their food around, just making a mess, and
So
just
they
being
just kind of
obnoxious.
ruined the experience.
They basically ruined it. That's why
All
they started
right.
getting banned.
Okay, that I can understand if they're like
So
being
that,
obnoxious.
The fellas are a little too hyped to see the little yellow guys. All right, you know?
Which I was wondering, so based on that, like, suppose a group like us, who are in our 30s, goes to this movie dressed in suits. Would they be like, no, you're dressed in a suit, you can't come in? Or would they be like, well, they obviously just came from work,
Right.
you can go right in?
Or it could just
I'd
be
like to point this out. I am all for this, whatever movie it is.
I feel like if they ever did that, I'd pull out my inner Karen and just see what she looks like. I've never seen Karen before.
I would flip.
I've never seen Chris's Karen.
Chris, I feel
I'm
like you
curious-
got a good Karen.
I'm curious what Chris's Karen would look like.
I feel like you got a really good Karen.
Chris is Karen Corner.
I mean, we did do Complaint Corner for
Yeah.
the first year we did this.
At
Yeah,
least we still
not-
do it from time to time.
Not super different.
Yeah, I haven't seen Everything Everywhere yet, so we might hit
Okay.
that corner.
Okay. That would be a good time
So-
for the Let Her Loose.
Yeah. So now on to the movie.
I'm sorry. Okay, all right. So we saw it today.
We did,
It was not
earlier
open.
today.
It was not opening weekend, but it was the Thursday after. But saw it today, and we took my nieces and my daughter with us. So sort of another family movie experience, where the first one we did was Lightyear. But so Minions: Rise of Gru. We took the kids, and Sean, you were with us.
The oldest is how old?
6.
6. First of all, have to say either these 3 girls that we went with super well behaved, or it was that engaging of a movie for a 6 and under year old.
Yeah, I would say the latter.
Yeah,
Yeah, well behaved is a.
because
I've been with them all week, so it's
Yeah.
know.
Well,
to
they all
me,
stayed in
we'll
their
see.
seats. They all watched the entire movie. They hardly ever talked the entire time.
Oh God, yeah. And when Lightyear, they wouldn't shut up.
Right. So, like, I mean, it's hard to be like, Minions are boring when they're like, and just slapping each other. And,
Yeah,
like, it's
exactly.
hysterical.
So-
They're just funny.
So Minions is it? It's the second of the Minions
Prequels.
yeah, the prequels. So Minions is about in the last movie they found Gru as a kid, and then Minions is just it's them being his henchmen.
rise of
It's
Gru.
just the rise of Gru. It's just him becoming a villain at
There's-
11 and a half years old.
There's a lot of Easter eggs in this movie, which is weird.
Yeah, but not
Like
not
Ram's Bottom.
far-fetched.
Yeah, Ram's Bottom shows up.
Ram's Bottom's there.
Bottom.
Dr. Nefario
Dr.
is there.
Nefario's in it. The son of the rival in the original Despicable Me.
Oh yeah, he's there.
He's there.
Yeah, but that's, like,
Will
whatever.
Arnett's character in that.
The chair that Gru has in his house,
Yep.
excuse me, is there. So it's, but like
yeah.
that's not even
It's
that's
like-
just more
but
for
it's-
adults who are paying attention.
Oh yeah, no, but it's Easter eggs. It's the little things that they like obviously put in for people who have watched all of them. It's nice, and it's just kind of like, yay, that happened.
So the only thing I can really do is compare this to Lightyear, that experience, because it's the second
Right.
family movie
Right.
of this year, and I'm curious how others would think about this too, who have seen both movies. But I've already given my review on Lightyear. You already know my thoughts,
Yep.
and we've both seen Lightyear as well. And when we were sitting down with the girls, it was the first 4 minutes after they introduced the villains that the minions started showing up. The first 4 minutes, we had all 3 of them laughing at the same time.
yeah.
And
yeah.
it wasn't one of those like chuckle type things. It was they were
belly
actually
laugh.
genuinely belly laughing at this things. And I'm like, this is going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
This is what family movies are meant to be.
Yep.
And then they laughed throughout the whole freaking
Yeah.
movie. It was
Like,
hilarious.
The movie understands who the dominant
audience
people-
is.
Like who do you want to see? Do you want to see Gru and the the bad guys, or do you want to see Minions getting hurt? Like, come on, it's the Minions.
It's not even that. It's they have this. Universal has this ability that I guess Disney did not have with Lightyear. Is the concept is at a 4-year-old's level. It is not. Let's have this Lightyear was like passive time and not settling down and missing life events and things like that.
Yeah.
So that like the overarching like adult themes that didn't sit with the kids who were just kind of checked out by 45 minutes in.
Yeah.
This is just Minions driving around being stupid, trying to find Gru.
Yeah.
And they look for a stone.
Oh, yeah,
for
the
a stone.
stone.
And that's it. And that's all it was. And then you just comedy.
Who's
ensues.
who's the one looking for the stone? Was it Oliver?
No, Otto.
Otto.
Otto with
oh
braces.
my god, he was so funny.
It was
Like riding the little tricycle like as fast as he can, like passing.
just
Evel
like going in the
Knievel.
water. just still
Just
going
going
the same
stone,
speed.
stone. Oh my god.
It really was genuinely funny. And I laughed so many times. You were on the other side of the kids, so
Yeah.
I didn't really hear you or see you, but I was laughing constantly throughout this whole movie. And if the kids weren't laughing, I was 100% laughing at the things that we're just like ridiculous. We're just so ridiculous. Even I've seen this trailer like 3 or 4 times, so I know that they were trying to break the wood with his head. But I still laughed in this movie because this is what the point of the movie is,
like
to
when-
make the families laugh.
When Stuart walks up to the board and he's like, and he just grabs Kevin and just starts beating him into the board. Like, I laughed my ass off.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming.
And it's just at the end of the movie they sing. I forget what song it was.
Oh, it's Rolling Stones. You can't always get what you want.
Yeah, and they were just doing it in like choir form.
Yeah, they were all like dressed as angels in white robes singing that song, but Minions speak. Oh my god, I was laughing my ass off.
And then you asked them what their favorite part was. I asked the kids what their favorite part was on the way home. So one was the eldest was the choir song.
Okay.
Because I think she knew the Rolling Stones. I think she actually knows that song.
All right.
So the second was
You got a cool kid.
That's not mine. The second was the training, the kung fu training montage.
Yep.
And then the third was, what was the third? I forget what it was. And I should remember because that one is mine. But I forget what it was. I think she said it was also the last song. But I'm not, I forget what it was. But anyway, like that's what it's at. And they all had their separate things. But those were like hilarious moments.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious moments. And I mean, it sits so well with the kids that this is why this movie is big. It is not because the themes are all, way over their heads or like I said last time when we watched Lightyear, my daughter asked, "Where are Buzz's friends?"
Yeah.
And then she didn't care about the movie.
Right.
So this is
And so this brings up the question we brought up last time with Lightyear. Suppose Andy saw this movie and Lightyear. Which one would be his favorite?
God, this movie.
100% this Minion movie.
Hands down, this movie.
Like, the kids love the Minions. And yeah, I do too. And so, yeah, a solid movie. It was just stupid comedy where you just turn your brain off and just be like, it's going to be ridiculous, like over the top at times, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah, the Spanish really came out this movie though.
Oh yes.
Really, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like now we actually know kind of what their language is. Sort of based
I feel
on.
like through this many was it 5 movies now?
Yeah,
like,
we can
I'm
kind of
starting to
understand.
understand them a bit.
Yeah.
And I believe all the Minions are voiced by like 2 guys.
Yeah, and somebody, I forget where I heard, but they actually like garbled a bunch of words together, and based on your demographic in the world, they kind of they've turned up. I'm assuming they turned up Hispanic a little bit for the U.S. So that's why you're getting more of the Spanish words.
Well, I know like that Spanish is like one of the language they incorporated into Minion speak.
Yeah. So I think if you were to shift to say Germany, they would actually kind of tone up the German words a little bit, so you actually kind of understand what they would say a little bit more. I think that's what they did. I forget where I was hearing that, but I heard that they did that.
But yeah, it's
Good for. I mean, sure.
Yeah, interesting way to go about that.
It makes sense though, right?
Yeah,
Because I knew I knew all the Spanish words they said. Granted, they were wicked simple. But, I'm sure that somebody in Europe would understand, one of the French or German or whatever.
something like that. Yeah.
So I mean, it makes sense. If you're going to spend money in the theaters and all it is just garbled language, just might as
Yeah,
well.
I mean, there's no reason not to just make it to the widest space you can. I mean, especially localized. So
Yeah,
why
makes
not?
sense.
Yep.
I've never seen any of these movies, by the way.
Oh, really?
No, it's
And I don't
family. It's
even
family
mean that
comedy.
as a-
It's
yeah.
family comedy.
It's one of those where if I sat down and was like, from a filmmaking standpoint, the first one, the original
Despicable
Me, is definitely the best.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so fluffy.
Yeah, right. Like everything about the first one is great. But if you are like, hey, the Minions were really funny, I want more of it.
There you
Every episode or every movie sense is like
can say
more and
episode.
more. Yeah, there's 5 of them now. But every single movie, there are just more and more Minions. Plus, there's the 2 prequels, which are dominantly Minions.
Right.
Which, personally, I would say this might be better than the first Minion.
I would say so too.
First
say so,
Minion
too.
wasn't bad. I laughed my ass off at it, but I think I preferred this one a lot more.
There was too much. There was not enough. I hate to say it, but there's not enough Gru. Gru kind of. It didn't anchor the movie, but it definitely like provided a nice side
Yeah.
to the main course.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Where the first Minions was all yellow and blue, just main course.
Yeah. It was like them
slapped
and
on the
Sandra
plate.
Bullock and John Hamm.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of them, but they were fine.
Whatever. The movie was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. The movie was 10 times better. Than
Great
Buzz
music.
Lightyear.
Great music, too. They picked a lot of music from
They really
the
did.
era.
Yep.
Was it the 70s?
Late 70s.
Yeah. So lots of
Late
disco
70s.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, they hit that. No, it was really good. It was really funny, and you know they nailed it. I think they nailed it for a family movie.
Great to bring kids to.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. Not Lightyear. Never will recommend Lightyear to anybody.
It's so bizarre to me, everything about Lightyear, just from what I've heard. Like,
Yeah.
just why they thought, I don't know.
So Lightyear, I had box office numbers here. So
It
Minions.
did. I
Minions
don't know
did
if we
better.
updated about it, but even on its, I think it
Opening
was
weekend.
low the first weekend. Oh, no, it was outpaced by Jurassic World its
Yeah.
first weekend, and then just imploded.
Yeah. So Minions right now, and it's been a weekend plus 2 days, is 154 domestic,
Yeah.
and
Oh, that's probably Lightyear, right?
Lightyear. It's been out for 4 weeks. Is 108 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they've already surpassed it.
Yep. Make fun movies.
Yeah,
Things-
right.
Good things happen. Look at Top Gun. Like, people want to go see fun stuff.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they held off for theaters. I'm actually glad that I saw this movie in theaters.
Minions,
Yeah,
really?
me too.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not ashamed. I think I spent like $60 for ices and popcorn or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
well, I think we got the kids for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
You know, sugar.
Lots of sugar.
Anyway,
but
so
but
what,
like the price tag of an hour and 32 minutes though, like perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Price
the other
tag was
thing. This was
perfect.
an hour and 34-minute movie. I looked it up while I was standing in line.
Beautiful.
Like, perfect.
Well, that's what I was doing the same thing because when I bought the tickets, somebody mentioned behind me, it's a 2 hour and 22-minute movie. I'm like, what?
No, that's
And then I
Jurassic
look
World.
up 130 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were we giving it?
Chris, you want to go?
I mean, I really liked it. I think 8.
Solid 8.
Yeah.
All right, I went with 7.4. Which, it was good.
Yeah. No complaints. No, I'll recommend it if anybody. wants to
100%
watch it,
recommend
there's-
this. It's just
You don't even need to see the first one.
Nope. Turn your brain off and enjoy it.
Just
Cool.
a quick reminder to our listeners: I am still here.
Yeah, and actually, going off of that, because this was not the most Sam-centric week, and there was a little bit of like not the best communication on our part. We are going to be discussing Last Night in Soho at some point. Sam watched it.
I did watch.
I had planned to watch it, and other things came up.
Is this a movie that was released this year or last?
This was
year.
last year. But Edgar Wright, who we really like,
I
There's
did
a film
the
Shaun of the Dead,
Shaun of the Dead.
and
Hot
Fuzz, End of the World. Or
Originally
World's
supposed to do Ant-Man.
did
Yeah.
Baby Driver.
End, Baby Driver.
I did watch Hot Fuzz the other day.
Great
Holds
movie.
up.
Holds up?
Oh,
Holds
yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Sam, do you want to give the like teaser-ish, what you thought about it kind of thing without going too detailed?
Sure. It's like it's sort of a surrealist horror. I mean, it's an Edgar Wright movie, so I don't have to say it has a great soundtrack. But, yeah, it's just The end kind of is a little weak, but it doesn't ruin the movie.
All right.
But certainly a fun ride if you like horror.
Okay.
And Matt Smith.
Yes.
And
But it's not like a slasher sort of horror. It's more of
Like a psychological horror.
yeah,
Okay.
or like a mystery horror sort of deal.
All right. Well, we
And generally just made around how scary it is to be a woman.
yeah, definitely. I've watched the beginning of it. And definitely got that vibe.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe, the whole thing.
All right. Well, I don't have a good segue.
No,
but,
no.
So Stranger Things, probably the biggest TV drop until we get the Lord of the Rings and the Game of Thrones shows.
I would agree. Yes.
Of the summer. Part 2, Volume 2.
Yeah.
Which
This is what, episodes 7 and 8?
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
yeah,
Does it
it's,
matter?
I know.
I
It's
viewed
the
these,
third movie to the trilogy of
Yeah.
Stranger Things season 4.
I mean,
Yeah,
the first episode was what, an hour and a half? The second episode was like two and a
20.
half.
This more or less is a 4-hour final act.
Yes.
Is how I viewed it. Almost, barely separable episodes. I would say.
Before we get into it,
Sure.
knowing the timestamp of it basically being close to 4 hours,
Yes.
just really basically, was it worth it?
Splitting it?
No,
Or-
like the fact that this was a 4 hour finale.
Yes. I think it. Yes.
A lot happened in these 2 episodes. I agree
Yeah.
with you, Chris.
The thing there was
It needed
no
to be.
there was no fluff kind of really
No.
in it, and I thought there would be, but
Yeah.
there wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, from an action perspective, there was a lot of plot points that happened. I guess that wasn't so much my problem. Although I was still like, you had to bring things to an end, but I guess nothing at all really surprised me. Which, not to get too deep into it, but
Right.
like
Not yet.
was sort of my biggest hang up is that.
It was very predictable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't want to be like, we're just doing the same thing over and over again. But it kind of feels like we are. Like, let me just kind of give you my broad take on this. So, first off, what was interesting to me is how much you're jolted into, I guess, episode 7? The first episode in the second volume or whatever.
Yeah.
How it more or less takes off seconds later. Like, there's
Yeah.
almost no...
Well, yeah. So was episode 6 ends with Nancy being talked to by Vecna.
Right. So, and where we're at with this one is like the immediate aftermath, which to me, from we're going to release this a month later, as like I know why they did it. They did it so people keep their streaming subscription. But from a actual like good storytelling thing, didn't really seem to be effective to me, because it's like you didn't have any room to breathe or sort of reset like you normally would coming back from a second half, or like when a story like that is truncated. So that wasn't super effective. I don't know. I think just overall the show has just kind of fallen into this predictable sort of rhythm where it's just the show's like just really not doing it for me anymore. I'm like sad to say. It's just very like predictable and just not entertaining.
It's
I don't know.
episodes 8 and 9, by the way.
Oh, it's
sorry,
8 and
sorry,
9.
8,
Sorry.
9,
Okay.
8, 9,
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, so right, so 8 when you jump back in,
Yep,
and I don't know. I did like fast forward through some of it because it's like I know what's gonna happen here. 11's getting her powers back. Yep, I can boil 2 minutes down to 20 seconds.
Yeah. The episode
I
8
also
in
was
particular.
I also was just watching it today, so I was a little up against the clock. But it's nice with a Netflix show because I can definitely go through.
I will. So what we stated in the first part 1 of this season is that 11's storyline was probably the weakest. The weakest. One of the weakest.
I feel like it almost still is.
It kind of still is. Like, yeah, we know you're going to get your powers back. Yeah, Papa is evil, and he's still evil, but the big twist is he's dead. He's died.
Do part of you guys want So I was thinking about this too at the end of the season. Do part of you guys want just 11 to be gone and let the kids figure out how to try and defeat Vecna on their own?
That I felt was very unique for this show and probably a lot more entertaining, them trying to take down Vecna without 11.
Without 11, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I think it would be more interesting. I don't know if it's Stranger Things without 11.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
not.
agreed, but it's been this way ever since season 1. Like 11's story arc is not really fun or interesting or do I really care?
Well, the stuff about, it's... you get that whole speech from Mike when, I guess, do we think 11's dead or something?
Oh, yeah, they don't know.
Yeah,
she's
so
unresponsive.
you're definitely getting the, I think you're dead, this is what you mean to me speech.
Right. You need to fight whatever's happening.
Yeah, and there's a lot of it where it's like, is it? Like, I feel like a lot of this show is like people telling me how they feel and not necessarily like me like having like a deeper understanding or like knowing inside that like, yes, this is how they feel about each other. Like, do you just get the sense, if they hadn't said it, that Mike has that like huge connection to 11?
No, not in this
You really
season.
don't. I mean, I just don't.
They even bring it up in the first half where she's like, you don't say I love you anymore.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah, but you're right. They're not like fleshing that out, or at
Stuff-
least prove it to me.
And honestly, I kind of wanted Mike and 11 to break up. Kind of want that to happen because I don't care about that relationship.
Yes.
at all.
So you want them to break up or for that reason, but yeah, because
That storyline's
It just
going
doesn't
nowhere.
go anywhere.
And based on what I have seen about their relationship, it's just a typical high school relationship where it's just like there's nothing there, but it's like, hey, I see you a bunch, so I guess we love each other.
yeah,
Even
the stuff you get kind of like an interesting scene right before sort of the battle commences in the last episode between Jonathan and what's the other
Will.
who's the kid? Will, which is interesting to me because that's a dynamic considering they're brothers.
right.
You don't really get in the show,
And he brings it up. Like,
Yeah.
we don't talk anymore.
but they never really talk.
No,
you know
I
what
know.
I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was never even
Well,
really
like,
a thing.
first season, he Jonathan was such an outcast from like everyone.
Right.
Yeah, but him and his brother were close.
Yeah, they were
always
much
kinda doing
closer than
things,
they are
listening
now.
together.
So, like, I liked that scene where he was like, "Hey, we should talk more."
Yeah, but I think this is more.
I
of a,
liked it, but it felt a little unearned.
not
maybe
unearned. It's just I think the gaps in between the seasons kind of
Yeah.
made you lose the concept of they're close.
Yeah,
or they were.
they were close, and I mean, the first whole season, Will's gone, so like you don't see the relationship
Right,
there, and then season two,
it's really more of a
he's-
grieving thing
yeah.
with his mother.
Right,
And then,
season 2, you're dealing with Will still being connected to the Upside Down, so you're not seeing a relationship there because
and
you're
then-
building the relationship between John and Nancy in that season.
Yeah.
And then last season, I mean, you're building up Robin and you're building up, the bad Steve as being the bad guy of the Mind Flayer. So I mean, like, I feel like that the relationship between Jonathan and Will it's I wouldn't say existent, but it definitely does feel like that scene was a little unearned because you know that they're supposed to be close, but you've never seen it because the situations they're in, it never comes up.
And it's odd too because there's a moment before that when they're in the surf shop, and I love how it's like I don't even know what his name is, the stoner guy. He's talking to the other stoner guy, and it's and I always I knew that was going to be that scene in that bit, but I still kind of always enjoy that.
Oh yeah.
But there's this weird moment. It's just I feel like they don't totally understand who the characters are 4 seasons in, and it's like there's a moment where Jonathan is like pitching the guy, be like, "Hey, we have a joint. You want a joint?" And it's like, did that seem like his character? Like when he's
does
like
now.
pitch man?
Well, after the actor got arrested for
Oh,
dealing.
cocaine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Little Miles Teller situation. Light on that one, but anyway, no, I don't.
Well, I mean, Will even brings it up. Like most of this season, Jonathan's been high. Like he's he's definitely got into drugs a lot. So I mean,
Yeah,
Just makes you root for Nancy and Steve even more.
oh yeah, and
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been there for a while now, but
once because I just remember watching season 1, and you can go back and listen to this podcast. But like when we talked about season 1, like Steve, such a character arc between first season and this season, because he literally went from, oh man, he's such a douche, this guy's gonna die, to like, if everyone dies, he better survive.
Right? It's really weird how the arc of Steve and Nancy is kind of like top notch
Oh yeah,
compared to everybody else.
yeah. And there's also this need. I mean, we talked about, we opened this of like, was there fluff? To me, there was fluff. There was a lot going on, but there's still fluff. Like, we still have to get like, I don't know, like a 3-minute scene. And like, look, I'm gonna be like this when it's like essentially like a 4-hour movie being released. We have to like have like the Russian guard pumping up the pilot guy for something that we all know is going to happen anyway. You know what I mean? And being like, oh, I thought you were the peanut butter smuggler. And it's like, what? Like, what? I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot of time, like, just the show is just like bloated. It doesn't kind of realize like where it's going. And I feel like too, the scale just continually getting bigger. I mean, I honestly have no idea where else they would go, but I don't think it like suits the show well, you know, because now it's like totally unavoidable. Like now they've like destroyed. I mean, it's obviously spoiler.
Yeah, we're gonna get into.
You know,
this
they've
soon.
like destroyed the town more or less.
there's a giant X in the town.
Yeah, can we
Right.
just? All right, let's just go right into
All right,
that section of the story here. Why would you be keeping people in the hospital and like triage in a high school when there's a massive X in between, like in the town? Why wouldn't you evacuate the town itself?
They are. I mean,
But they're collecting donations in the high school.
Oh, I know.
For what? Why not just get out to another high school in a different town? And
mean,
then
Well, it
that's
is
typically
logistically very hard to just move an entire
Right.
town.
you say get
You
the hell
also-
out. There's an
it's-
X in it, like a giant dimensional gateway.
right, but some people
Well-
were injured during it. You know, people are homeless, maybe carless.
I don't think there's an understanding too of what this
Yeah.
is by the public.
Well, I
right?
mean,
They
if
think it was
look,
just an earthquake.
guys, I give you permission to slap me if there's a massive hole in the ground and there's smoke coming throughout the whole town.
Yeah.
I will hold you
True.
to that.
Thank you, Sam.
So, well, there's a town in Pennsylvania where something similar to this happened, where it was like an underground coal mine that caught fire, and the whole town, it's a ghost town now, but like if the town is evacuated, there's no one living in the town, but the coal mines underneath the town are still on fire, and like there are cracks in the ground that will glow from the fire.
That's fine. But wouldn't they evacuate the town?
Not in 2 days. And that's the thing. It's only been 2
yeah,
days.
that's a good point. Yeah.
I don't.
Well,
Look, I just think it's.
I don't know,
just think
man.
it's
Remember
ridiculous.
Chernobyl? Like they
Yeah.
bust them in. Don't care if the dog's there.
Look, I think it's ridiculous, but that's just.
I
me here.
I think, remember, the core group of this show knows what's happening. No one else does.
Yeah, I can see it.
There's also just some very odd scenes that seem like they're in there because they know they need something like it. Like, okay, Dustin telling Eddie Munson's uncle that, I mean, he's dead.
Spoiler
right?
alert, Eddie dies.
Yeah. But he's just like,
Fantastic
oh,
death, though.
yeah, we didn't tell you. Like,
Well, he wouldn't know.
Well, this is.
I know, but like, why wouldn't he have told somebody? Like, I don't know. That's just such a weird scene, and it's like really drawn out too.
See,
and,
I like that scene. Just because like Eddie's uncle doesn't know where Eddie. Nobody knows where Eddie is. Yeah, and they bring
but
it up
why
in the news report
is that though?
Well, they bring because he's dead in
but
the Upside Down.
they could just tell him that, or like,
who's
tell him he's
who's gonna
dead.
tell him that?
Yeah.
Look, it's like everybody in the
know.
town knows that it's another dimension, but nobody knows.
Right.
It's the weirdest thing.
No,
like,
but nobody knows.
I know,
But
but
the
like,
thing is,
the
it's like the
mall
weirdest
and
thing.
stuff. Like, I don't know, like the.
Well,
I know,
so-
like believability
yeah.
is like a weird place
So-
to start, but
so with
it does
the-
sort of.
But with
you
the
know.
mall, all that the people of the town know is that there was a like hive of Russians living
Oh,
in there.
that's right.
It's not that they were down there trying to open this dimension. It's just there were Russians there.
Yeah, it's just nobody saw the massive creature climbing on the highway chasing after the station
I just
wagon.
like to interject hive of Russians.
Yeah,
Great way to put that.
Yeah.
it's not wrong. That's a big tunnel.
You're still the queen. That's what happens.
That's a big tunnel.
They don't know
Yeah.
what to do.
But yeah, with Eddie's uncle, like the only people who know that Eddie is dead were the people involved in trying to take down Vecna who were still in Hawkins. So like Mike doesn't know really know that Eddie's dead. Will doesn't know Eddie's dead. Will probably never met Eddie. So like, and in a situation like that, last thing you want to do is be like, all right, first step, we find Eddie's uncle. Because like why would you, like, that's the last thing on my mind.
I don't know though, but if it's someone close to you that died, like,
Look, I
I feel like there's some kind of notification.
I feel like we.
I mean, and you could just say too, like, oh yeah, he fell down the earthquake. Like that's you know,
he
there's some plausible.
But the whole thing is, in the news report, the reporter says that Eddie is still wanted. He's missing because he's wanted because they believe he was involved in the
cult
murders.
killings,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's this cult person. So like, obviously, you're not going to go around town and be like, "Oh, I was with Eddie. Let me find his uncle. I was with Eddie."
I feel like what we needed in this episode is another. I don't want to say. Well, I guess I could say this. Another set of adults knowing that there is another dimension.
Yeah.
I feel like we have, Hopper, Winona Ryder, and
Right.
Murphy at this point, but and then obviously the doctors and all that crap. But I feel like there's another. If we had like the sheriff or the deputy kind of understand, and then they're just like standing with him, it would have been the scene a lot better. Like Eddie died a hero, things like that, or
guess.
Eddie was innocent, something like that. I feel like there's at this point we need to kind of expand the sphere a little bit of people
But
who
I
know.
feel like the magic has always been in like the small conspiracy of it all, and that's why for me it branching out and getting big is
Right.
like I said, I don't know where else they could go, but I feel like it's definitely not the
But
same.
it just seems like they were building up to that. They insert conversation between Dustin and Eddie's uncle here.
Right.
It would have had a bigger impact if they had the sheriff there saying, "We know he's innocent."
Right.
Just,
But once
you know,
again,
I think that would have been bigger.
it's been 2 days since the incident.
Yeah, but that's why I think build it. It should have been built out earlier in the season, and just kind of.
But I
just
don't
to kind
think
of
you can.
expand.
I don't
the
think you can have it both ways, though. You can't
No.
give the guy like you can't have like this, really dramatic sort of like death sequence, and then just be like, oh yeah, no one told his no one told his uncle. Like it's tough to. It's tough to say, but I don't know. It just, the scene just felt weird to me. It just like didn't seem like the right place.
It felt appropriate to me.
I thought it was very appropriate.
Because he's ignoring everybody else's comments and snide remarks there that he's just like he's still out there, he's missing. So
Sam, you're gonna have to review Sam who
so
he just grabbed a comic book.
yeah.
I mean, there's a giant stack of comic books. I have nothing to contribute to this.
Well, here's my really quick one-off criticism. Sam, why'd you grab number 6?
It was the one on top.
So by number 1, it's in the stack.
I'm not gonna spend an hour.
yeah, there's like 200
I
books
know,
over
no,
there.
What are you reading? by the
Dark
way?
Ages.
Dark Ages number 6.
I would recommend that.
We've kind of buried the lead. Let's go into it now. So I'm not a fan now, and I think the Duffer Brothers might be kind of falling into this. Mm-hmm. They're afraid to do things.
To kill people.
Millie-
I
Millie Bobby Brown brought this up recently in an interview that they need to Game of Thrones this.
so they
There's too many characters.
I wouldn't say that, but they are afraid to get rid of some that are liked. And I think, granted, I think Max is top 3, third tier of characters that we like, that we like.
And to be fair too, she's actually like a pretty interesting character too.
Very much so.
Where there's a dearth of those sometimes on the show.
Yeah. So I think it's they're afraid to kill her off, and they had to bring her back. And I think that was stupid. It was a cop out.
Yeah.
It was lazy.
Well, we've had this now. How many times has someone died and just come back or like seemingly died?
We've seen it.
Like it's just it loses its meaning. Like we saw, Papa Matthew Modine, he died. I've never seen him die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I know he's dead
Exactly.
for real though.
Yeah.
So I think-
from the worst sniper in the world.
Yeah. Right.
I think she should have died. I think
Max, yeah.
holistically, if you were, because at that point 11 already fought Vecna and they kind of duked it out and that was it. And I think they have to fight again. Clearly they have to fight again. And I think Max's death could have been the emotional spark that kind of, because they had all these flashbacks of when she was fighting and all this other stuff. And I'm like, this will be it would have been a big point if Max was gone.
Can I make a brief prediction? Jonathan dies in the last season.
Okay.
Well,
Paving
sacrificing himself for
Paving
yeah,
his way
yeah.
for Steve and Nancy to get together.
Yeah, that could be it.
Certainly
but then again,
feels like there's some kind of setup like
I don't.
that.
I mean, Robin even brings it up in the episode where she's like, "I don't think we're all making it through this."
Yeah, but then we more or less did.
For the most part,
except for the
minus-
guy who
yeah.
was introduced this season.
Which, God,
The red shirt
yeah.
dies.
Can we talk about his death?
No,
Sure.
could we stay
Yeah.
on the Max one
Oh,
first?
sure.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. Finish your thought.
I
on Max.
really got emotional after I thought she died, and then it immediately ended the second I saw L11 sitting in the blackout.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way. Now she's gonna wake her up, and this is gonna be so stupid. And the second that happened, I checked out.
Okay.
The second that happened, because you gotta stop being babies, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta let it go.
Gotta-
you gotta
you
kill. You
got
gotta
one-
kill people off.
One season left.
We're not
You
a
gotta
kid
do
show
it.
anymore. We're not a kid show.
It never was a kid show, to be fair.
That's
but
true.
The problem is it's not, to me, it's not a movie. I mean, like, you can continue, you don't have to have sort of like these complicated, oh, this guy dies, how does the impact, like if it's just like a 2-hour movie and it's done. But like, you need some like meat on the bone here. Like I need to have, like, honestly, one guy died this season who like I care about, and everyone else is in the same exact spot.
But this is the murder.
I don't think
this
there's
is-
like any character arcs in this.
This is like Murderstown, USA, according to the news at the
Right.
beginning of the season. I mean, let's go. You will never get like that reaction from the guy who played Lucas. Spot on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, spot on. Like,
Yeah.
if I was the Duffer Brothers, I'd be like, nope, she's gone, based on that performance right
Yeah.
there.
No, that's what I felt. I thought that was,
Yeah.
I didn't think she was coming back.
You-
I was
you even
I
have-
was
on
surprised,
point.
and I thought it cheapened it. I
You
think
have
you're
that
right.
her reaction too when she's finally like let go of Vecna, where she's like, I can't see, I can't feel anything, and you're like, oh man, she's done. Like her eyes
yeah.
are all white and bloodied, and like it feels like it's the end for her.
I don't, and it's supposedly
It-
they said she's brain dead or
it's-
something like
yeah.
that, which is, and they implied that when she tried to visit
She
her in the
died
blackout.
for so many
But
seconds.
I mean, it's
minutes.
it's worse when you did it that way. It should have just
But
been.
it all
No,
comes,
but you know if she's brain dead, she's waking up.
Oh God, yeah.
right. But
There's
it,
almost no
it brings
chance.
back once again the whole. Every movie with like a super in it is kind of like this. It's like, well, what are their powers?
Right.
And with 11, it's like, well, so she can save people from death now, I guess. Like before, it was just like, I can push things, and now it's like, it goes from telepathy to healing.
Yeah,
for some
I
reason.
feel like at this late in the game, you shouldn't necessarily be giving additional powers. It's like the new Star Wars, and
Oh
you know,
yeah,
you
where
can
they're
force
like,
project
the Force
yourself.
can do everything.
Yeah,
now.
you can force project yourself across the galaxy on a different
Right.
planet. Yeah,
Yeah,
Stuff
sure,
doesn't-
sure. That's how it works.
It's and heal things.
Yeah.
Bring back to life.
Force heal. But whatever.
I feel like at this point you shouldn't be adding necessarily.
No,
You
you're
should
trying
kinda
to
just
wrap
be,
it up.
and not you can add, but not add this.
that, yeah.
This level of addition. Right. Should be decimals, maybe
so-
rounding.
Actually, so going off of Max's death, quote unquote death scene, guys, it's like a blink and you miss it kind of thing. But you see that,
Yeah.
the jock die.
Yeah.
My God.
Blink and you miss.
Yeah, where it's like the crack goes through him, and he's like, "Oh my God!" and he's dead.
Yeah.
Like he's literally split. in half.
Interesting death, but
Oh, yeah.
I mean necessary.
That whole
Very
thing was
graphic.
underbaked too.
Oh yeah.
That was just
Yeah, that kind of character, you see it all the time where it's just like super popular guy, and where he's like he just cracks, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, give him a gun." What's the worst that's gonna happen?
yeah.
And he ends up dying.
Indiana, or where are they? Indiana or Ohio?
Hawkins, Indiana.
Hawkins, Indiana. Yeah.
Just outside
80 miles
Indianapolis.
outside of Indianapolis.
Yeah, I was there a few months ago. Well, I drove by it, I should say. So Eddie's death. First of all, I have to state this. Rewind a little bit. I'm not a Metallica fan at all. Great use of Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
Great, like, part of me is like, I kind of want to listen to that song right now because of how amazing that scene was. But I don't like Metallica.
Yeah, you're right. Just like, I mean, I know, just give me all the trash. I'll take all the flack, but Mission Impossible 2, I love listening to the Metallica soundtrack. That song from Metallica. Yeah, loved it.
Yeah.
But you're right. No, I mean, it was one of the best sequences, I think, that
just
was in Stranger Things.
And it's funny, too, because, like, the foreshadowing is kind of there early on in the season where he's like talking about his guitar, but he never plays it. But he like talks it up so much, and then like in that episode, he's like, it's like she was made for the apocalypse, like untouched.
Could I zag a little bit on the action?
Go ahead.
There's a lot of it, very long. I don't know if like an hour-long action sequence as like a third act is gonna work anywhere. I was just like, I know no one's gonna die. No one of consequence is gonna die. I don't care. I'm just at the point now where it's like, yep, that cool. This is filler.
Now, were you like that before, like when you first watched it, or are you like that now? Now that the season is over.
Oh, no. I mean, as I was watching it, I mean, I didn't feel that way. Maybe like in season 1, and the problem is too. It's just seen this before. You know, it's just this is the 4th time. You know, I mean, I'm just at the point where it's like there's no tension, there's no drama here. This is all green screen. Kind of looks cool, but I don't know, nothing new. But
Okay.
I will admit I'm probably alone on that island, but I'm just at the point, and it's honestly it's not just this. It's like the lightsaber fights in Obi-Wan and the fights in Moon Knight. It's just like none of this matters.
Yeah, I feel like it's just, you're right. None of it matters, and I feel like they need to get to that. We need to get back to this.
Not to be devil's advocate or anything, but like Top Gun. None of it really matters. They're not going to kill off. I mean, they killed off the one guy that they should.
Yeah,
but like none of them were going to die.
I thought Tom Cruise could die.
No,
I thought he would. No. I thought he could.
No.
I was like, no, 40,
I honestly thought
I was 40, 60. No, I was 40, 60.
No, but like there was like a possibility. I mean, you're not that wrong, Sean, but like I thought there was a possibility. You haven't seen like it.
It would have been explained.
It wouldn't have shocked me. Well, I shouldn't say that. I would have been stunned, but not like it wouldn't be inconceivable.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think they would ever really.
Tom Cruise ever died in any movie? Outside of Interview with the Vampire. I know he dies in that one.
I'm not sure. Does he?
I don't think he ever dies in any of his movies.
Live, die, repeat. Boom.
Oh, and he's made up for all the other movies.
Yeah, exactly. You know how many times he dies in that movie?
Oh God, yeah.
But he's not permadead, so no. That's my thing. Like Tom Cruise never dies in a movie. He's not going to die in his movie.
Yeah, but no, I can see what you're saying. But back
I'm just
to
like I
Stranger
said,
Things here.
Playing devil's advocate. Like if it counts for all these, it should count for that too. There should be no.
Yeah, but the other difference though is like one is like IRL jets, the other is like just green screen, shooting webs at people.
Well, I mean,
like
if you can find me those tentacles and those bat monsters in real life, like that'd be great. But they don't quite exist.
Look, it's with all the stuff Stranger Things has been doing, going into the Upside Down and dealing with all this stuff, like you would think that at some point the numbers would dwindle down a little bit.
Yeah,
they're not.
No,
what of the Upside Down entities?
No, of the main characters.
Oh, yeah.
Because of all the like just the situations they're putting themselves.
The biggest
in
one
necessarily.
I mean, they killed what's his face? They killed Sam.
Right.
Bob
Newby. Bob the Brain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was you felt that one. That sucked. That wasn't. I mean, like feeling not like it was a good story thing.
Right.
But yeah,
I would.
Oh, but it was like it was perfect.
yeah, and you sacrificed,
And,
right?
and Max doing that would have been like, this
Right.
is a very
Right.
like, this is it. Like, the stakes are raised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stakes are
But-
up high now.
But I
and
would.
the brain dead thing is just going to be such a
Right.
cop out.
But
It really
I would
is. It
say
really
with
is.
Eddie, I felt close to Bob the Brain
sure,
with that death. That's how like
With Eddie?
he was. Yeah, he was,
I just
he
felt
was a
like there
big
was
character.
too many people at this point to like have that a similar kind of connection. But I know what you mean.
Yeah, they need to get back to the whole Walking Dead Greg Nicotero thing. Like, you randomly show up one day in the office, and that day you're filmed, you're cut, you're dead. So that's how it worked in
mean,
Walking Dead. Nobody
well-
knew until that day.
Right.
So
Right.
like, it's just, I don't know. I feel like everything is, the stakes are raised. That means the dangers are increased, obviously, and now you're losing a red shirt freshman.
Right.
You know, who's a a safety, whatever.
I guess
It's
part of-
not even an important
yeah.
position.
Part of it too is just knowing there's a fifth season. Fifth season, I might not feel that way. There might,
We could lose a lot
Yeah,
of people.
e
we may get a lot of stakes here. I mean,
we could.
we might get a lot of people cut out for this. Season 5, by the way, not even started filming yet.
No, but they do have the not the script, but like they know what's happening. Like
So they haven't wrote the script. They know what's going to happen. They have the outline.
Right. They have
essentially.
the outline, which is better than like last time after season 3. They were
Starting at
like,
zero.
yeah, they were like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
but they also
So,
had COVID issues filming,
Right,
because they were
right.
trying to film right at
So-
the start of COVID. So
I will say this: I did like because what the earthquake doesn't. No, right? The earthquake happens like the last 5 minutes or
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
That was good. I thought that was like the only way I would be hooked into a fifth season happened.
yeah,
So
yeah, like something major happened.
right.
It's not like, yay, we defeated Vecna. On to season 5.
Right, and now Will's
yeah.
got like a thing on
Yeah.
goosebumps on his neck, and it's like. Although at first, did you guys when they were looking and it was I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of not knowing what was going on, so Vecna kind of talks about, or was it Harry?
By the way, you've made your mark on all those this time around. Back.
Oh yeah, right.
Good improvement.
Yeah.
Check mark for you.
Yay. So when
Sam's done
he
reading.
Yeah,
Sam's
I'd like
done
to point out there was a giant T-Rex in that, and they didn't use it in the battle.
Sam, Devil T-Rex,
Yeah, I know.
or Devil Dinosaur.
but it was
sorry.
all wrapped up with bandages, and they left it behind.
okay.
Well, it was hurt.
Okay.
Anyways, so but when Vecna is explaining,
I just like to point out everyone should read comic books completely out of context.
All right.
It's amazing.
We should do that next time as a bit. Although Sean's read them all, but
yeah, that's true. Anyways, Vecna explains what happened to him when he was cast into the Upside Down, and he's like, I found something that would gave me purpose or something. I still don't know what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
that
did
didn't
he,
work for
Did he
me,
find
yeah.
the Mind Flayer, or did he create the Mind?
I don't know. I feel like the cloud of black
The
mist or whatever
Mind Flayer
is the bad entity.
is the actual bad guy, and
Yeah.
he's just a minion of it.
Yeah, and he's using.
That's kind of what I
But
got
see,
out of it, but
But I thought 11 created the world.
correct. That's,
I
that's
thought,
what I thought
That's
too.
what I'm
and
thinking.
I think that's cool. That's good. That's
Right.
interesting. Not to, but
But we could be wrong.
yeah.
We could
could
be
be.
I meant to look it up online. What did that scene mean? What was he saying?
Oh, don't do that. You'll just
No,
go
I
down
know.
a stupid rabbit
As,
hole.
I
as
know,
much
I know.
as I'm usually a fan of world building and stuff like that, all the upside down things to me, I'm just yeah, that's the evil place. Evil place. It sucks. Don't go to the evil place. There's not, I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with it just being the evil place, and that's seeping into our reality, and that's bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. Well, you need some kind of danger of what's seeping in. Which I mean, we got a Demogorgon fight. That was pretty cool.
with the Hopper. Yeah.
With Hopper, did anybody recognize the sword?
Yeah, it was Conan's.
That's Conan's sword from Conan the Barbarian.
And it's Arnold's
It's the actual
jacket too, if I remember
Is
correctly.
it is actually
Not from the movie, but different movie.
Yeah, but it is actually the sword from those movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, nailed it.
The prop guy like brought it. He was
Also,
like,
it makes
no
it
way.
like that's a
And-
little bit small.
And
Seems
well-
or the Hopper must be really big.
He is a big guy.
David
He's
Harbour.
I think he's like 6'4".
Yeah,
Like,
Is he?
is
Okay,
a
so
big
yeah.
guy. But if you go back to like episode 4, well, like the first time they show the pit, there is a guy trying to wield that sword and dying. That's why it's in the pit.
Oh, okay.
I do like in the last episode, they're like, "Hey, you lost some weight, guy."
Yeah, right. Like it's like, hey, you're not like it was almost like when Chris Pratt lost weight in the
For Zero Dark 30, yeah,
yeah, like
or Guardians,
Guardians, and like in was it Community? Not Community.
Parks and Rec.
Parks and
Parks and
Rec.
Rec.
How they were like, oh yeah, I stopped drinking beer. It's like,
Well,
oh, that's why you lost all that weight.
I mean, at some point you see these people every
Yeah.
30 minutes a day
Oh,
for
yeah.
whatever.
But it was like along those lines where they were like, where the actor between seasons lost a lot of weight to get in
I
shape.
mean, in
Right.
truth, sitting in a Russian prison would probably
Exactly.
do that.
Oh,
too.
yeah,
for
like,
sure.
The explanation,
But it's
is-
funny they
is
don't even necessarily. I mean, it's fine. It's just funny
Yeah.
that it like only comes up.
Yeah, right. Like,
Although you don't really notice it so much until he takes his shirt
Yeah,
off. and you're like,
yeah, that
oh,
was-
he's actually
that was
pretty gone.
interesting.
yeah.
I'd like to point out, Sean, your wife, currently watching the show.
Yeah, so she fell asleep during the last episode.
Oh,
of
really?
this. Yeah.
Oh, maybe we should get a reaction after the show.
Yeah, no.
Get a live react.
Oh,
Sam,
yeah,
how did
she's-
what'd you think of the comic?
I mean, like a lot of people died.
It's a one-off 6-part series, and it's just so Dark Ages. It's like all of a sudden a
Apocalypse was trying to blow up the world by getting himself into somebody else's body or
Yeah,
something.
My
so
goodness.
just-
All right.
yeah.
And that he died
no.
because he got turned into a
Basi-
vampire.
all
Damn it, John.
yeah, all electricity in the world is like gone. Like no, there's no.
I like to
electric-
point out that the way they killed him is they turned him into a vampire, and
Yeah.
then Blade killed him.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, nice. Well, also I guess spoiler. But anyway.
Also, they did use the T-Rex. I just
any
He was hurt. They used him earlier.
Final thoughts
any
on
final thoughts?
Yeah,
How,
Stranger-
how are we feeling? I guess going into season 5.
I'm excited.
Stranger Things. I have never. It's been a while since I've genuinely wanted to sit down and really watch this as soon as I could. It's been a while. Mandalorian is probably the most recent one,
Yeah.
but like this is it. And if you could do that to me, keep going. It's
Yeah.
been the same. It's been the way the whole season. So
We got one season left, and like part of me is like, oh man, but at the same time, I'm like, no, it needs to wrap
advice,
it up.
advice
Let's do
to the
this.
Duffer Brothers who are listening to this: don't be afraid.
Yeah,
Just
please.
don't be afraid.
I
You've
will
already
take some
missed. You've already
casualties.
missed it for once. Don't
I
try not to do it
definitely
again.
feel it. Oh man, I'm like going through my head who could die, and I'm like, obviously Jonathan, but I'm like, Brett Gelman, like he might die.
Who's
So he's the
guy with the glasses.
Yeah, the conspiracy guy who's with.
Murphy?
Yeah, he could die.
Yeah, but he's not there. He's not in Hawkins.
We
At the final
should,
scene, he wasn't there.
Yeah, he
we,
is.
we should definitely do a like a draft or like a
Okay.
like
A prediction?
odds maker.
We'll
when,
do
it comes
that
out.
in like 2 years.
Yeah,
when-
set our alarms for 3.5 years from now.
They did say it's going to come out quicker.
Okay,
Okay.
what's the over-under that this comes out prior to Game of Thrones Winds of Winter book?
Oh God.
Never coming out.
Okay, all right.
I'll take the over.
I wonder if they have that in the casino in down the street. I wonder if they have odds on that.
Maybe,
Granted,
yeah.
it's mostly sports, but
Probably. I don't. You can't really bet on anything besides sports at those.
Oh, okay. That'd be
Maybe
good. That'd be a
Vegas.
good
Gotta
bet.
go to
I'm curious on
offshore.
the odds on that. One.
Offshore. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, anyway.
Any final thoughts?
No.
I haven't been feeling it this season. I think
right.
I'm not saying, I just haven't, but clearly you guys are into it, so
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
All right. Well,
Also, I'd like to point out that whole fight scene was at the Louvre.
Ooh.
Oh, in the comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God.
all right. So next week we're doing Thor.
We're doing
Yeah.
Thor. We'll do a little Last Night in Soho.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max.
Right.
If you want to check it out.
All right.
And Thor.
We'll be Thor heavy. So if you like all of our episodes, you can find them on all the streaming services. You can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Knights of Nerdatude. That does it for us for this week. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.